The first thing I watched in December was Rear Window, an old Hitchcock movie. The opening shot is so beautiful I got hooked instantly. There was just something so mysterious about watching the neighbors through the window and not creepy at all. Don't worry, it's fine if you're handsome and charismatic. All the windows have a unique story, and during the end of the movie, the suspense and tension had me freaking out. Very good, 9 out of 10. Then I watched John Wick Chapter 4. When is my guy Keanu gonna get some rest? He's been killing for 4 movies straight now and we ain't talking a few guys. Oh well, these are super amazing action movies if that's your thing. I mean, look at these fight scenes. The movie follows the plot of the other movies but with a bigger bounty on his head. I mean, if it ain't broke, no need to fix it. Maybe a bit long, 7 out of 10. Then I watched Equilibrium. It had an interesting plot where all feelings are illegal, was definitely Matrix inspired but sadly not as good. Pretty much Christian Bale running around kicking some ass in a dystopian world. The action in the later half of the movie was quite amazing with spinning guns and sword fighting. Christian Bale definitely carries this movie a lot though, and look how sexy this man is. Not that great though, 6 out of 10. I wanted to watch another old movie, so I watched Casablanca, a real classic. These old movies are charming in a special way. This is a war movie made during the Second World War, which makes it kinda amazing, but it just didn't do it for me. The dialogue is witty and smart, but it has a bit too much romance for me and I wasn't a fan of it. Sadly a bit overrated in my opinion, don't burn me, but 7 out of 10. After that I watched Ikiru, an old Japanese movie about a man facing death, or should I say life. There are so many great lines in this movie I had to pause and write them down. I love a movie that makes you question your own life, it really moved me I must say. The movie, even though grey, is very beautiful and the acting is amazing. This truly is one of the best things I watched in a while, 10 out of 10. Then I watched the Star Trek remake, the 2009 one. This was the first Star Trek fiction I have ever watched, so I can't compare it to the older stuff. I thought it started off pretty good with the introduction of Kirk and Spock, but after that it goes straight into a typical superhero movie with shaky action, a boring villain and no build up at all. They could have taken things slower and built up the movie better. Star Wars Solos, 6 out of 10. Then I watched Babylon. I heard so many great things about this movie in the movie community, but that might be because it's meant to be a love letter to cinema kinda. It's a pretty long movie with a runtime of 3 hours and 10 minutes, but it always had a shit ton of stuff going on. It was pretty exhausting and maybe a bit overdone in my opinion. It's like a roller coaster that goes on for a bit too long, so you start feeling sick and want to puke. Mostly kidding, but the acting was good and there are some hilarious moments, so 8 out of 10. For the Christmas I rewatched How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's good that this movie works visually because I couldn't hear most of the dialogue as there were screaming kids in the background while I was watching this. Well, as I said, the aesthetic and the vibe of this movie is great. Maybe it's the nostalgia talking. I always love Jim Carrey in these type of movies where you mix his strong facial expressions with physical comedy. Also a pretty funny movie, 7 out of 10. Then I watched Amadeus Director's Cut, which is 3 hours long, but I didn't notice the pacing at all. This movie was amazing. It felt so filled with passion, truly perfection, just like Mozart's work. It's more of a historical fantasy as it's not very accurate, but besides that, which shouldn't matter. Excellent acting, cinematography, costume design and obviously great soundtrack. It's hard to explain, but everything about this movie was amazing, one of my new favorites, 10 out of 10. I watched Platoon after that. This movie makes you feel like you're part of the Vietnam War. Not that I've ever been in a war, but I imagine the horror of this movie is what it feels like. The director Oliver Stone was actually part of the Vietnam War, which explains the realistic look. The characters are real and funny, I just love the scenes with them talking more than any of the action. I'm not the biggest fan of war movies, so it's an 8 out of 10 for me. Last movie I watched this year was Paris, Texas. It's about a man who reconnects with his son after gone missing for 4 years. I get it, this movie is about being wholesome and stuff like that, but it wasn't really for me. The second part of this movie also turned into a romance, which is even more not for me. I'm sorry for the people who love this movie, but 6 out of 10. That's it for this month's Watch Club. I will try doing this every month, so please subscribe for more, and I'm planning to watch a lot of foreign classics next month, which I've been putting off for a while. Stuff like Kurosawa, Korean movies, some Russian movies, and the odd foreign movie here and there. Thanks for watching.